spent the night in sleeplessness, rose at every sound, half in hopeless sorrow, half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. Then just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gates began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window and looked out into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told us where she'd been. She said they moved him in the night and none of us know where. The stone's been rolled away and his body isn't there. We both ran to the garden, but John ran on ahead. He found the stone and the empty tomb just the way that Mary said. But the binding sheet they'd wrapped him in was just an empty shell, and how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Something strange had happened, but there's what I didn't know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, and then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, all the guilt and anguish came. Everything I'd promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it just wouldn't be the same. Suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. And Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. And I fell down on my knees and I just clung to him and cried. As he raised me to my feet and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release, and every fear I'd ever felt just melted into peace. He's alive! He's alive! He's alive and I'm forgiven. Heaven's gates are open